Adoption in Egypt is very complicated topic. I wanted to discuss this already before, but I didn't have the courage, to be honest. But recently I see it everywhere that you ask me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube that you want to speak about adoption, that you want information about the adoption. So I decided to make it in podcast. For me it's better to speak about adoption podcast. But on the start I have to tell you that I really have zero personal experience with adoption. I never adopted a child, neither in Egypt, neither outside. So please, everything what I say now is really my personal opinion, my personal experience, okay? But really it's not about me what I think, not that it's 100% true, okay? And before we start, please, after this podcast, I don't want to listen from you again that I hate Egypt, that I insult Egyptian, that I'm against them, that I make them in bad light. Please, no. Because this week, especially this week, I really getting bored from it. That I listen over and over these things about me, and it's not true. I love Egypt more than anything else in my life. That's why I make all of this work about Egypt actually out of money, for free, just from the clear love. Okay? So I really love Egyptians. They are so wide-hearted people. And I don't know, this country is the best for me, so how should I possibly hate it? It's a nonsense. Okay? So please really put this in your mind that Egypt is my biggest love. But I'm just telling you the truth about Egypt. I just wanted to see the Egypt as it really is, to be realistic. That's why I speak about these topics, even it's maybe unpleasant and maybe you don't like to listen in so much, but it's the truth. Okay? So please, I hope I will not listen it again. Just remember that I really love Egypt. So let's go back to the adoption topic. So I was discussing this topic with my Egyptian family and my Egyptian friends. So like a long time ago, like even let's say about the 8 years, I'm discussing it like more frequently. Because there was a time, as you know already, because I released this in the last my video, that I couldn't be pregnant, and there was a high chance that I will never ever be pregnant in my life. So seriously, there was a time when I was thinking about adoption to any children. And even before this my problem, like even when I was even teenager, I always loved the idea of adoption, and I wanted to do it always. Why? My personal reason is only one, because I think there is so many children in this earth who need a love, who doesn't have parents, and they will do anything to have a parents, to have a home, to have a family. Okay? So I think we should help each other in this world. We should help especially the children which are innocent human beings. They never did anything bad to anyone, and they had just like bad destiny. So if you can change their destiny and help any child, so please do it. It's a really awesome idea. But I found out that in Egypt the adoption is not a thing which people are going for. They even don't like to speak about it that much. And when I was discussing this with my friends, they always look at me like I'm crazy, like what I want to do. And please, again, I'm not insulting Egyptian, it's my best friends, so that's why I say it, okay? It's a normal connection between us. But to be honest, they give me 2 good points to think about a different way about adoption itself. Because like from my side, I was some act to go for a child and help him from the bad destiny, to give him something good destiny. But maybe it's not like this as it seems. And now I will prove you what my friends told me and make me think about. So first, the thing is that Egypt is simply Islamic country till now, and we are living, or we should live, on the Islamic way. So the very first point is that if you adopt a child, in our religion is simply forbidden to call the child like it's your own. Okay, so if you have daughter, if you adopt girl, I mean, you cannot call her your daughter. You must call her the name as from her father. So she will know from the start that you are not her mom and she is not your daughter, and it will be fine. But you should even treat her so, like she's not your baby. And I guess in the point of adoption, you adopt the child because you want to feel like it's your baby, and she wanna feel the same way. But in this point, you should like still tell the baby, no, I'm not your mom. We have to keep some kind of distance from the feeling. So it's already the first point, which like I don't like that much. And the second point is much worse for me, and that if you adopt, let's say, the girl, let's say your daughter, so one day your husband could marry her, and opposite, if you adopt a boy, your stepson, so he could possibly even marry me one day, in the good viewpoint. In the worst viewpoint for me is that I was thinking like it's a boy, right, when he grow up, and he could possibly even rap me or someone hurt me or whatever. I know that this is like a little bit crazy ideas, but you never know. This possibly could happen. Okay, yeah, that's a good point that you can tell me. It depends on the way how you grow up the children. And I agree on some point, but I think that each of the child has its own character, and you simply, as I told, never know what will happen, and some character are unchangeable in your personality. Yeah, then I get the idea that from our religion there is one way how to overcome all of this problem, and that if you adopt a really small baby, let's say just a born baby, and me as the mom, I will breastfeed the baby, so then it's forbidden for my husband to marry the baby or for me to marry the baby. But hey, how could I possibly breastfeed the baby when I don't have my own baby, right? And so I don't have no milk. So this is also another question. This way will work if you have already a baby and you want another to help someone for the purpose of help, so it will work. But there is also another point, and this maybe will be more about the man than the woman, that simply if you already have your own baby and you bring to the home unknown baby, so I think that the man will have problem to connect with the unknown baby, you know, it's not his. So the difference will be there between your baby and between the adopted baby. I think it's something in the human nature. But as I thought, maybe about the man more than the woman. And this is another point, that not all people are like me or think the way as me. I don't tell this for you, I tell this more for myself, to be honest. That some people, whatever it's woman or man, will never be able to connect with the unknown baby. They will simply have in their mind, it's not my baby, and they will treat him differently. Even maybe do not love him so much. And some people are not able to do this. And I completely understand it. Yeah, okay. So these are the points which my friends made me think about. And it's making me really confused, or I started to understand why the European people like avoid adoption. But by luck, one day I saw the orphan home. I went around really by luck. I didn't search for it. It just was on my way. And I wasn't inside. I just saw from outside how boys are playing football. But it looked to me like so luxury place. So awesome place. The look was so fabulous, and the children seemed really happy to me. And then I know that I was discussing with some teacher this point, and the teacher told me that in Egypt, the people or the children who live in orphan home have everything. Like the government really care about them so much, and they have everything whatever they wish. And from what I saw, I will confirm these words, even as I thought I wasn't inside and I don't have any deep experience, just how it looks to me. It looked really very nice. For me, much better than in Europe, to be honest. But please, if anyone actually listens to this podcast and you, for example, was in the orphan home in Egypt, or you adopted a child from Egypt, please feel free to write me, and I would like to discuss like more details about it. Really, I would love to learn more about it, because I thought it's complicated topic, so why not, we can learn from each other. Well, but there is another side of Egypt which is important, and is that not every baby or every child without parents is in the orphan home. Simply, this is kind of sad truth that there's a lot of children simply living on the street without parents, and sometimes you can find them even they are working. Okay, they are selling on the street anything, and they don't have, for example, even a shoes. They are even suffering by hunger. But why they are on the street, I really don't know this. But for example, the uncle is alive or the aunt is alive, because I told you many times that Egypt has a huge family, right? But a lot of people, a lot of family here are poor family actually. This we already discussed also, that Egypt is now dividing to two groups actually, for the rich people and the poor people, and the middle class is simply disappearing. But it's a sad truth, and I was thinking sometimes that maybe I could take a baby from the street directly. And why I say it, because it's connected to one important story. Because this time when I was thinking about it, I already had my baby, but I still was thinking about the adoption, because I wanted to like repay for the life, or for the God what gift he gave me. I wanna do something like good in return. And there was one story with actually born baby, and I already made this video also, and you can listen it. I will put the link below, but I'll repeat it again, so partly you don't have to. And the story starts that I was in my mother-in-law home, and suddenly she had a call and she was very upset, so I went to ask her what's happening, what's going wrong. And she told me that her friend has somehow connection with another friend from Luxor. It was in Luxor. And that the friend died, and it was a woman who just gave birth and she died right away. So it said itself, but what was more sad, that her husband told that he doesn't want the baby, and he commanded the people to bury the baby with his mother in the graveyard. But the baby was alive. Okay, only the mom died, but the baby was alive. But the dad told that he doesn't want the baby, that he wanna immediately to go search for another bride, and he doesn't have nothing common with the baby. This is not good light on Egypt, I know, but please have in mind that this story which I'm telling, these people was from really upper Egypt, not educated people, okay? And they are kind of dangerous people here in Egypt, and you will not see them if you come in, no worry. So what this friend of my mother-in-law did, that she took the baby to her own care, and she was searching here in Alexandria that someone possibly could adopt the baby, but the baby was without any paper, without anything. So this adoption is like, let's say, the black way, maybe the forbidden way, but this I'm not sure about if it's forbidden or not. So I was thinking this time that I will take the baby. I was telling immediately, okay, bring this baby to me, because now I can breastfeed even the new baby, so it will be like my baby, right? And we already dealt that I will have the baby, and even I dealt with my husband, who wasn't that so happy for it, but he kind of agreed. But what happened, and I was very angry from it, that after like half an hour, my mother-in-law told me she found another mom for the baby, like a woman who never had a baby, who was divorced but very rich. So she wanted the baby, so she took him. And I was very angry. I remember that I booked the baby first. I want a baby. But my mother-in-law told me, like, think about it. This woman is very, very rich and has no one. So possibly I could make happy this woman and even give the baby a better future. So I thought, okay, at the end, okay, I accepted, let it to her. But it made me angry. But what I want to tell you by this example, and I hope I will have no problem with the story that I'm saying alive actually. But I want to tell you that even this, let's say, black way for me, it exists in Egypt. Like, if you really want to help someone, really, I can go now to the street and take some baby to my home and care about it. It's not that hard in Egypt. Yeah, I said there's many questions and many even danger situation can happen from this, but it's not impossible. But as I told, the real adoption I have no experience with, but really I will try to really search with someone who has experience with it to speak about it more. And at the end of our podcast, I want to tell you actually two things, positive things now about my work, what happened. The first one is that, if you didn't notice, I already published my second book, the cookbook, which was waiting 1 year. I know, I'm sorry, but I finally finished it and it's on my blog, and you can buy it there now, directly from my blog. Not from Amazon, not from another platform, just directly from my blog. You will have the link in the description. Also, you can buy there still my first book. I republished it again on my blog, and I removed actually from Amazon, so now you can buy it only as an ebook from my blog, and I'm already linked with some publishers, so it will be very soon available in Egypt as a hard copy. And yes, second very awesome thing is that I have now my own cups for drinking, coffee, tea, anything you want. So in my next video I will show it up. You can watch it, and possibly you can even order it if you want for yourself. But this is not for my profit, I want to tell you. This is only if you want to have the cup, so I will do it for you just for the cost. There will be no profit for me. So I think it's very nice. I do it just to connect with you more, to have some fun together. Actually, I didn't do it. It was meant as a gift for me, and it makes me so happy. And I published on Instagram, and I just saw the people asking about it, that they want it. So right now, for example, this week I'm sending like 5 cups to Europe. So if you want also, please write me anywhere. As always, Instagram, Facebook, even in the comment here on YouTube, or in my email you can write me also, and we can deal about it, and you can have the cup also. And I'm planning to make some t-shirts and some pens, so stay in touch. It will